Okay, I've seen a lot in the alternative media about the hero's journey. So it's about somebody who finds their own inner path or their purpose within the world and go on a journey, almost like shamanic type experience in some ways. And this can be more subtle or even more stronger expression. What would you say is the hero's journey, and is this even necessary or just another distraction?
As soon as we define ourselves as heroes or missionaries or saviors or warriors or anything like that, we have to question where it comes from within. Does it come from that mature, equanimous, natural being, or it comes from a desire to appear or be someone in this world, in this projected reality? So all of these notions are still relevant to the projected reality, to one's external journey. And they usually reflect it is one of the aspects of the, you may say, corruption or corrupt circle, where one is either victimized or one is an aggressor or one is a hero or savior. So this is still in this trigram of distorted being. So the true being is in the middle of this trigram, if you may say, or if I may say so. Anything outside of that is some sort of a distortion or some sort of a self-expression which needs to be expressed. It doesn't mean that there shouldn't be heroes, but again, the true hero will never even call himself or herself as a true hero, right? So again, it depends on how you live life from within. If you live life from the standpoint of, I want to be a hero, I want to be a savior, I want to find this purpose that supposedly would define me, it means you're coming out of or coming from the spiritual or whatever form of narcissism. You may be very empathic, you may be very lovable, but still narcissistic, even though some people may object. Most of the empathic people are narcissistic people. It's just that they empathize with the pain because they have fear of being in the same painful situation themselves. So true heroes, true spiritually evolved beings, true warriors, true healers and shamans will never define themselves anyhow, because the whole point of definition is irrelevant and useless. But when you're an immature consciousness, you look for some kind of a definition for yourself to define your life, to create purpose, because you can't face the neutrality of life, which appears as boredom. So you need to look for some type of excitement. So the majority of people looking for spirituality in this day and age are looking for some type of an excitement, a thrill, of supernatural, of some kind of powers that they can or may acquire. They don't realize that we can't acquire anything from the outside. True power is the emanation of one's refined being. True heroism or courage, which are the qualities of a hero or a warrior, are but natural emanations of a refined soul that expresses itself in an authentic and naturally courageous way. Because there are no prisms, there are no masks behind which it hides. But the unrefined souls need an external definition. So they need to create another mask, another purpose through which they create a meaning of life and for themselves. This desire comes from inner emptiness. Narcissism comes from feeling that I'm nothing, I'm not enough, I'm nothing, or I am not enough for a certain group of people, and actually feeling empty. And this emptiness definitely needs to be filled in with something. So spirituality is a very good ground, or any kind of spiritual aspect of life can be a very good purpose to hold on to and to fill oneself with. But it's just another form of escapism. It's just another form of search for validation. So as long as we define our path, we are corrupt and we are on the path of corruption. True path shouldn't be defined anyhow. We can call certain aspects of life in a certain way. We can give certain definitions, but the essence, this essential part of our existence should not be defined. Our life doesn't always have a meaning. This meaning is shaped gradually through the manifestation of what is within ourselves, whether it's corruption, falsehood, or our authentic being. That will define our life path. Everyone's life path is the life path of a hero or not a hero. Who defines, who gives these definitions? Yes, in a spiritual sense, some sages and wise beings created this sort of a parallel with like when you're on a spiritual journey, you're like a spiritual warrior or like your spiritual hero. Why? It was not about becoming any hero or warrior, because there was no one to define one. The true spiritual teacher will never pet one's narcissism or try to validate or create tags for you. But they will acknowledge certain aspects. If you've managed to refine self, you will be definitely acknowledged in spiritual sense. You will feel that you've come to a certain, to a new level, you may say, but it will be just felt within. You will feel that you have an opening to a new level of knowledge or new aspects of something in the spiritual sense. You realize something from within. So even though, let's say, you're within a lineage and you're granted something, you will perceive it from within. It won't be announced as a reward, because there's no such a thing in true spirituality. You will all of a sudden perceive yourself differently, deeper. You will all of a sudden just know. And you will understand that because of my humility and my kind of ability to let go of a lot of rubbish within myself, now I was granted this knowledge or this understanding. But there'll be no one to come and pet you, no one to come and give you any tangible rewards, but you will know within that you were rewarded. And so why it was a path of hero or spiritual warrior, because before this reward, which comes from within as a natural outcome of one's inner work and facing one's own corruption and falsehood, one had to go through a lot of challenges in the external life as well. Also facing their own emotions, their own corruption and falsehood, where they didn't fall into traps, and so they, no matter how many obstacles they had, they overcame them. So that alone could be seen as a journey of a spiritual warrior or a hero, because these beings just from within developed an unstoppable courage, an unstoppable faith in themselves and the existence, and a definitely gratitude and deep humility to the existence, to this path. And so they chose to be nobodies in a sense of being recognized by the world. And that's why they're called heroes. But for the majority of the people, hero is someone who is recognized by the external world and applauded to and accepted and pleased. But this is a false hero. True heroes do not demonstrate their courage and their true abilities, true knowledge, until there is a moment when it's necessary, or by circumstance it's necessary. So they remain in the shadow. Truly spiritually evolved and powerful beings remain mostly in the shadow. True heroes are in the shadow. True warriors are in the shadow. They don't go around and boast around about their achievements, because it's foolish. So the false hero is like a fool. A false warrior is like a clown. But a true warrior and a hero remain in the shadows. You can't come across true masters, or whatever the tags can be, true spiritual masters or beings, or even beings who know the essence of this creation and can affect this, because they're not visible. They are not known. They can't be recognized as different from the rest of the crowd. But those who wear special attires, who try to create some kind of a way to be recognized, or they want to look different, they can't just wear the same clothes, do the same thing, or act in a certain, in the same manner. So they create themselves some kind of ways to be something, like actor is posing or trying to act as being someone else. So these people are false heroes, false spiritual masters, because they wear masks. True master doesn't need to wear anything. Their potency is felt beyond their words. Their presence is laser sharp. So whether they are martial art masters or alchemists or whatever the tag can be, spiritual masters, those who went a little bit further into the subtle, or who went beyond the veil, they will choose simplicity. They always choose simplicity. The quality of a true spiritual master, warrior, and a hero is simplicity, and not being interested in engaging with the world unnecessarily, because they already are bathing in their contentment. They don't need to yell at every corner that they are this and that. So it's very important for people to understand, because we can be usually fooled by some false ideals. We're pushed to believe in different personalities, TV personalities. They are shown to us as being heroes and some kind of accomplished beings, and yet at the end they are not. So again, depending on what is within us, what we're distorted to, that will pull us to either real heroes or false heroes. If we are distorted in the same manner, we are traumatized, victimized, narcissistic, and look for validation and recognition in one way or the other, we will be drawn to these kind of people who exhibit the same qualities that we either lack in ourselves or have in ourselves and wish to acquire. Again, their false confidence attracts us, because if you are lacking confidence, they are lacking confidence too, but they've managed to become successful at putting on masks. So what you're attracted to is their mask, not their true essence, because their true essence reflects your own essence, which is empty. But you want to acquire the same mask because that mask helped them to gain money, fame, recognition, and so on and so forth. So most of the people get fooled by this kind of masks, attracted to these empty personalities and trying to maybe even mimic them, copycat, and yet they don't cultivate themselves. The true journey of a hero and spiritual warrior is that they look within. They don't copy anyone. They don't follow other people's ideals or ideas. They check them through themselves. They accept them only if that is true to them. And so they develop their own courage, their own being, which is fulfilled. Fulfilled means content. Narcissism means empty. Narcissistic personality needs masks because it's empty. It needs validation from the outside. It needs to be a hero or warrior, a spiritual personality or recognized personality. But a truly content being is fulfilled from within. They don't need tags and masks. That's where they're authentic. And their presence may be either threatening, cutting through, or appealing for those beings who are looking for truth and authenticity within themselves too. But if these are the minority, well, true heroes, warriors, and spiritual masters will not be that attractive for the majority. But the artists, singers, all kind of, personalities which are shown to us from TV and social media, who put on nice masks and appear as confident, they will be attractive to the majority. And so the majority then has to ask themselves why they get attracted to these personalities, why they want to be something. They want to be something because they feel they're nothing within. If you're content, you don't want to be anything, but you're already everything. You enjoy everything without being tagged or in a spotlight. And that's the principle, the main principle here. Those who are weak look for recognition, validation. Those who are strong remain in the shadow because it doesn't diminish sort of their being anyhow. Even in the mud, a diamond remains a diamond. Even hidden in the bushes somewhere, gold is gold. You may paint a tree in gold, just paint it, and it will start attracting people. But with time, they'll realize that it's not a golden tree. It's painted. So the same goes with these people. They do attract, but there's nothing behind it. And those who fall for it, fall for the glitter, not for the essence. If they had that essence within themselves and recognized that essence, they would never fall for it. So that's the point.